Well, looks like we have just gone live, so this is going to be Malaysia versus Philippines, and this is quite the match, I have to say. I'm joined here with Silisk Els, also known as Emily the Frog. How are you doing today?
I am really excited for this match. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm fine myself. I had a pretty long day, but now I'm just chilling. And it's good to be commentating this because I think this match in particular is going to be really exciting.
In my opinion, this match is going to be neck to neck in any way possible.
Right, because on one side you have Malaysia, who's full of all-rounders, but you can literally say the same damn thing about the Philippines. So, this isn't really going to be a Rice versus LN battle. This is going to be a bloodbath.
My opinion on this is like one team can win on this specific skill set, but the other team can also win in this specific skill set.
Yeah, it's like this could be 5-4, be 4-5, or it could be 5-0. Anything can happen. It's so fucking funny.
Like the recent match, you saw that, right? That was Chile versus what was that again? Chile versus
Hong Kong versus
Hong
Chile.
Kong. So the way how that match went was we saw Hong Kong picking SV first and then picking LN mostly for the last part. But Chile focused their attack more on picking Rice. For this match, I don't know if if both teams should go on a linear approach, just picking one skill set at a time. I feel like they're going to trade blows on different skill sets.
Yeah, there's like no way. Like, if we look at the pools, like I expect the pools to just be like covered evenly with blue and red. There's no blue territory or red territory. It's just whoever. It's a coin flip for almost everything. These teams are so evenly matched. They're the 8th and 9th seeds, I believe.
Nah, this is the 7th and 10th seed match. I think the 8th and 9th seed is the Canada-Brazil match.
Oh yeah, that one's also gonna be really exciting.
You know,
Yeah, wow.
I find it interesting how Canada was like seed 8th and Philippines was seeded 10th. They essentially just switched their seeds from the 4K MWT 2021 seedings.
Oh, I didn't even realize that, but now that you mention it, they are like really, really close. So,
Like,
yeah.
imagine
Wow.
if Philippines was just a seed higher, or Canada was a seed higher and Philippines maintained the same seed. That would be a rematch.
I don't know, man. This is like, it's fucking insane. Just, I mean, like your guys' match against Canada was in MWC was like really insane as well.
Yeah,
I'm
but
expecting more of the same from here.
that is true. But anyways, let's focus right now. First on what is this warm up? Oh, am I seeing a co-op here by Oxasia?
Yo, what is this?
Well, that
Looks
is a
like
co-op.
somebody's playing on DT because I have no clue what is going on, but wow.
Anyways, I don't know what's going on. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to point out the Philippines might be at a disadvantage in this match.
Why is that?
I believe they have one missing player.
And is that missing player important? Well, I mean, like, I assume all of them are.
They are all important.
Yes.
Should I like mention who is missing, or will Malaysia? Oh, I stand corrected. They don't have a missing player anymore apparently.
Oh, so okay. So that's good news.
That's very very good news. I like how the whole lobby is taking this seriously while Oxesia is just not doing anything.
Yeah, they're just in for the fun and all. And that's how it's really fun being in a team tournament compared to an individual tournament. There's this kind of team spirit that just overrides you when you're in a match, and it's just like really something that you can't really replicate in 1v1 settings.
That is true. So, I believe the difficulty of this map is within the realms of round of 32.
I can't really. I guess like it just seems to be jump stream, but for warm-ups, I tend to focus more on the meme aspects, and I am relatively uncultured, so I do not know what this represents.
I see. Well, shoutouts to Oxesia because they're now in the stream chat. Hello there.
Yeah, shout out to Oxesia, who is simultaneously chatting and playing at the same time, getting a very good percentage of 4.88 and dropping. So
yeah, that is a really difficult act to maintain, 0.4%. Anyways, Jaylai and Laserid are just like battling it out each other. I didn't realize that Melancholy had a drop.
yeah, I mean, I think the stakes are pretty low right now, so maybe we'll see how these players perform more so in match when nerves are actually existing.
That is true. So, Malaysia and Philippines. What do you think are things that both teams should take note of?
So I would say like giving these teams relative evenness in almost every skill set. I would say this is more about picks that go in the early stages of this match versus the picks that go in the late stages of this match. So for early stages, I would say that like some of the shorter rice picks, some of the more straightforward rice picks would be suitable.
I see. That makes sense. So we have Laser Read. Oh, Laser Read's ratio is actually so much better. It's just the two 100s. And what is this? Bato. Oh my god. Bato de la Rosa. TPAP.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Filipino culture, so
you want me to explain this?
please do.
So Bato de la Rosa is a senator in the Philippines who used to be like the leader of the Philippine National Police. And he's part of the war on drugs that's happening because of the administration right now.
War on drugs, more like war on black people.
Shoot, this is the Philippines. You're not in the United States of America.
Black people exist in the Philippines.
I know, but still. Anyways.
Okay. I digress though.
Anyways. So, another thing that we should take note. I don't know who has the physical advantage between the two teams.
I would venture to say like there is zero physical advantage for any of these players. I think it's just even. I can't tell the difference.
Like I get that both teams they do have their physical players. Malaysia has LCJQ, Philippines has Astolfo, But in terms of tournament physical who's gonna have the advantage? I don't really know, honestly.
Yeah, at this stage, it's really, really difficult to tell.
So
I
yeah,
would like
go.
I could flip a coin and I would be about as accurate as the results I might see here.
That is true. So we will have Malaysia with these players and Philippines with Kiss Off Nation players. Yeah, that's what KN means. Again, it means Kiss Off Nation for those who do not know.
Shoutouts, shoutouts. Batata, bitaw ito.
What are you doing?
I'm I'm trying to speak Tagalog.
That is not
You
how you
don't
speak.
know. Look at
That
it.
is okay. First of all, it's Tagalog, not Tagalog. Okay.
I don't
And
know. Mate.
do you want me to say Tagalog phrase? I'll say it. Putang ina mo kisop.
Putan, susu putan madre.
Anyways,
Well,
that is my Filipino phrase of the day.
well, okay. I'm not Malaysian and I'm not Southeast Asian. So whatever, man. Or mate. I'm just here. Okay, but yeah. Anyways, have they started the warm up yet? I can't tell if they're just like are you just like playing the warmth invisible notes? I can't tell.
Honestly, I don't know what to say here. Like, I feel like they started already, but it could be the internet issues.
Yeah. Let's see this warm up. This warm up looks fun. So, yes.
Who has
Have you
the?
played
Oh, there we
PS4?
go. I was about to like say there's an internet issue. I'm not sure who it is, but here we go. Here's the warm up.
Oh
Do you have
god.
any expectations for
Oh
what this could be?
god. No, I'm not Filipino.
PPAP.
Doesn't that mean People's Action Party? That's a Singaporean thing.
Oh, I'm not sure, but oh my god. What is going on?
The war on
And
drugs. This is a
we can't.
pretty bad way to wage war on drugs.
Oh wow, laser is holding combo. Okay, as I said it. Not anymore.
This is be more like war on Osu players because they don't know how to play technical shit.
That is true.
As you can see, there's a long note hitting in every single note, and there's a long note tiebreaker hidden in this Rice map. And
Oh wow, I'm surprised that people have the skill to S this. Anyways, let's proceed to the rolls. I predict that the Philippines is gonna win the roll, and then imagine if Malaysia suddenly wins it.
I would also, well, okay, it's actually a coin flip, but like the fact that like any of the files that these teams pick is also a coin flip. I think that's the really really remarkable thing about this match.
Okay, this to me, this to me is going to be the most intense match both teams have right now. Of course, like I don't think, despite that fact that Malaysia is the higher seed, I don't think Malaysia would want to face the Philippines, and of course, same goes for the Philippines not wanting to face Malaysia.
Yeah, and like whoever ends up facing like whoever gets sent down to the losers bracket is basically just gonna be like really all rounded, so they're gonna be a force to contend with in quarterfinals too.
Oh, guess what? I cursed the roll. Malaysia wins the roll. Okay then.
Nice.
I said Philippines is gonna win the roll, and Malaysia wins it. But what should Malaysia ban? Actually, no, what should the Philippines ban? I thought
I
Malaysia.
honestly think it's just gonna come down to comfort. Like they're probably gonna do something like ban Del Rio because like Del Rio's really chokeable. Um, I mean like maybe the SVs are like difficult for some of the players, so that could also be a ban. Maybe some of the rice is difficult. It's too techy.
Honestly, I would go for the easiest rice because I don't think the Philippines is that strong at all in rice act. But Del Rio works as well because, like what you mentioned, Del Rio I don't think is that difficult of the map where the Philippines could capitalize.
Yeah, and like I would actually say Del Rio is just like something where both teams have a 50-50 on, but you might just see one team banning just because it's too choke baiting and they don't want to go for it.
I see now. We're still waiting on the ban. I like how the Philippines is taking their time. You really need to take your time on matches like this, and to be honest, matches in general.
Yeah, especially in a sort of match like this. I mean, like if it's a Rice versus LN battle, then okay, you can probably go faster. But this is quite exceptional out of the matches in the bracket.
That is true. Well, we have to see first what should the team do. Like what should they do right now? Should they decide first what to ban or which players should they pick? Honestly, of course, I would right now immediately want someone assigned each team to just oh, they banned 273.15. I like this ban actually.
Yeah, I guess it does make sense with what you've said about Malaysia having good early game Rice net. So in that sense, like native 273.15, that's a really logical ban from the Philippines.
That is a oh Malaysia
Malaysia's
banning.
banning Honey Bunny. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah,
I'm not sure if I like this ban from Malaysia at all because even if the Philippines did relatively amazing in the first round, Malaysia can keep up with the Philippines.
and it looks like Malaysia's going for metastasis. So it looks like to me that they're gonna be trying to play an SV game because both of these maps are like similarly approachable. So if I see metastasis from Malaysia, I'm probably gonna see Turbo.
I'm not sure. Like I did say a while ago, I wasn't a fan of their ban. I don't know if I like this pick because the Philippines practices their SVs.
Yeah, well, so does Malaysia, and you know this could be a coin toss, but then again, so could all of the other maps. So maybe this is just something that Malaysia just really likes. Maybe the song is really good. It's a banger, certified banger. Thank you very much.
So let's take note of what the scores are for Malaysia and the Philippines in the SV map or the qualifiers. In the qualifiers, Malaysia was only 4,000 points ahead as a team to the Philippines. We had Malaysia getting 2949 and the Philippines getting 2945. Of course, both of them in the millions range. So this has got to be close, I think.
Yeah, and this is something where like Malaysia could easily drop a breakpoint down on, and then suddenly it's Malaysia that's going to be in trouble if no other breakpoints are dropped. So, you know, it could really go either way.
That is true. I am not surprised seeing Satyo Light LL in this. Same with Oxasia and JLI. As for the Philippines, this is also the expected lineup I had for SVs. Cub is one of the strongest SV players in this tournament, being what's dubbed as the Arcat Junior of the Philippines. And here we go.
Yeah, and it's great to see new players step up in SVs, especially these SV specialists. I think Arcat is like one of the players that the 40M team probably misses more. But yeah, it's great to see people fill in.
That is true. And right now, from the start, we can already see a coin toss.
Yeah, so this map is OD5, which is probably good. Otherwise, you would be dropping some unnecessary 200s in a map that is already a bit difficult to hack.
The ACK lead is going to Malaysia. Unfortunately, Frostno is a little bit behind to Oxasia, which is why.
Call this an ACK lead? This is not an ACK lead. They are not even 200 notes in. And like, keep in mind how short the song is. There's like absolutely nothing.
That is true. Cobb and Laser Reed leading the charge for the Philippines, but for Malaysia, it is Jelai and Satio Light.
Yeah, and J-Li has really good accuracy now, but it's all going to come down to the second half where the approximation gimmicks really start. Right now, we've got some reading that's more simple than what comes later when you've actually got to memo.
Oh wow, Satio Light is gonna drop to the 99.7 range, but Frostno will go down as well.
Yeah, it looks like Frostno's like in the back of the pack, even if just by a little bit.
That is
they
true,
just
but
dropped a little more 200s than the rest.
that is true, but Oxasia is gonna drop to the 99.6 range as well.
Oh, and Oxasia drops. Oh, yeah, these 200s, they're going to be really, really important in this match. And as you can see, like, it's flickering. Philippines taking the lead momentarily, and it looks like that lead might stick.
I love that both teams practice this. That is very nice to see. And Oxasia is gonna drop to the 99.4 range, but I didn't see that Frostno also dropped there.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Philippines is going to have the advantage. Just a set, Frostno misses, which is going to turn the tables.
Another drop from Frostno. That is very unfortunate.
And it looks like Frostno just forgot the LNs, because some of these LNs are like kind of difficult to time if you're sight reading this. Not saying that Frostno didn't sight read this, but
this isn't a side beat at all. I think that was just a very unfortunate drop. If this was a full combo, this would have been Philippines' point.
Yeah, there's some very, very solid scores from the other Filipino players, and I'm sure Frostno is probably a way better than that, but in any case, that is going to be Malaysia's
Look at
point.
Combo 3 score, 994k, almost eclipsing the 995 mark. That is very impressive.
Yeah, a V1 SS on this is very impressive indeed.
Although it's not over. If anything to take note, at the very least, it's Malaysia's pick.
It's the Philippines pick.
No, I meant like they lost on Malaysia's pick.
Oh, okay, so no break points were harmed during this point.
Yeah, that is true.
No points were broken during this point.
If I was the Philippines, I might go straight to Masquerade, I guess. Tokyo Ghetto is a little bit risky considering combo. I think the Philippines will have a little bit difficulty on the combo side for this round.
I honestly don't really know what to say. Like, they could go for one attacks, or they might pick the SVs, but they are gonna go for best.
There we go. That's the pick I was talking about. Masquerade.
And so looks like the Philippines is trying to stake their claim in one of the LN maps.
I am expecting Melancholy to be here. We have LCJ on the Malaysian side, but on the Philippine side, we will have Melancholy.
I don't think Melancholy is part of the. Yeah, so it looks like Melancholy and LCJQ have to swap places.
They have to swap
Or in that,
places.
you could.
Yeah, that's true. They have to swap places. And there we go. I think they're swapping places as expected.
Yeah, so I guess like it looks it looks like from the current bans and picks that both teams are at least a little bit aware of. Maybe Philippines might just be a little more comfortable on the yellow end, but you'll have to actually we'll have to actually see.
That's true, but judging from that previous map, I think Malaysia should avoid the SBs at this point. Like, okay, we get that Frost Snow kind of joke, but that it isn't enough to say that it was a confident win for Malaysia. Would you agree?
Yeah, that was very, very close up into the end. And like, if it were not for those turned events, Philippines could have easily taken that as a break point. And yeah, it may have just really affected the outcome of the match. But in any case, let's get into this point.
Crashed, but yeah, again, would you agree with me that Malaysia should not pick SV?
I don't know actually. Like, seems like Malaysia had two pretty solid act players, but like, Philippines act players were definitely ahead of Malaysia's, or at least for the top two, and it was just Oxesia versus Frostno that determined it. So it's really hard to say.
Yeah, honestly, that would be just a coin toss, but it was a risk that Malaysia took, and it ended up being worth it.
Yeah, but this is gonna be Philippines pick, and we'll see if this is something that will pay off for the Philippines. We are an LN team, but then again, so is Malaysia. I mean, they did ban Honey Bunny, but it's not like they're slouches at LN.
That's true. We're just waiting for the both teams to be ready. I do hope the issues on JLI's side is going to be resolved.
Yeah, let's. This is just gonna be exciting. Any skills that these teams play through, it's just so gosh darn exciting. I want to see some scores flickering. I want to see some action. I want to play some football.
I really want to see that as well. Like, you saw the SV pick, that was a very violent flicker. I feel like this one might just have a violent flicker as well.
Yeah, and like I I think Oxesia might just be one of the carries for this point that might just make a difference. But we'll have to watch.
Okay, so yeah, it seems like they are having connectivity issues, but I guess to top this off, this is such a risky pick for the Philippines because, again, like what I mentioned, I'm not sure if the Philippines can combo through this.
Well, what do you suggest Philippines should have picked? That that's less risky.
Honestly, I'm not sure at this point because I did say this was a very risky pick, but I think picking the risky picks right now and getting it done with might be the better option. But if I were the Philippines, I think we could have picked something like a hard rice map instead.
I mean, you did see Philippines banning Absolute Zero, so maybe it might just be different on something like Time Goes By or like Society Nixus, but like Philippines isn't really trying to take any chances here when they've got two very solid LA maps that they probably have a higher chance of winning on than they do on the Rise.
Okay, well there we go. This is Masquerade Bayana Fea. Really challenging LN map for these two teams. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a flicker.
And as we begin, um,
Though there
wait,
seems to be
where's the
something wrong with the
scores?
line.
Oh, I don't see. No, no.
Okay, there it
Oh,
is. There it is. There it is.
okay. Ooh, okay, Philippines, they're just ahead by just a little bit. Oh my god. Oh
Can you
my
even
fucking
call this
god.
lead?
This isn't a lead. Okay, that, like, I don't fucking know, man.
Okay, but right now the Philippines triple 99.8. That's very good. Meanwhile, Malaysia will have a 99.4 and 99.5, so that means Melancholy's drop will not matter that much. And I believe, so there we go. JLI right now is carrying. Oh, what just happened? Is that a full team miss?
Yeah, I believe that was a client, but
Okay, but that was client, but
LCJ did miss, unfortunately.
no, LCJ didn't miss, but okay, what is
Oh,
going on?
okay. Yeah, I don't. I think it's
Okay, so
really hard to say, but looks like Philippines just has the act advantage right now.
that is true. So Melancholy's miss will not matter that much because LCJ and Oxasia's act is falling behind, and so is Jayla.
Yeah, and it looks like the three players in the Philippines have a really good act that is trumping all of Malaysia's players. So even if Melancholy did miss, it's not gonna matter.
That is true. But I hope they can hold for this for long because Malaysia is slowly catching up.
Well, there's some
Lazy
harder
reading the
LN
carry.
sections, and you see that J-Live does miss on that harder LN section, so that's gonna solidly swing the lead.
Oh wow, that's a huge miss from Laser Read.
Oh,
Is that going to be enough for the Malaysians?
I don't think it'll be enough. I think it'll just cancel out. I think Philippines still has a slight lead, and after both Laser Reed and J-Live
That
hit
is
400.
That is true. Frostno being the tank of the Philippines that is badly needed.
Yeah, Frostno and Oxesio with FCs. It's
Wow.
LCJQ also with an FC.
Wow, Laserid almost SSing that. It's just the unfortunate misses and 100. Oh, Turbo, this. I don't like this pick.
You know, like, maybe Turbo's good because it's got slow jam, which it's a more niche skill set than something like Metastasis. So
That is true, but
yeah,
that is true. But behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure this is one of the SV maps that. This is the SV map that PH was emphasizing not to ban. I don't know why. I don't know why you would pick this against the Philippines.
I mean, like, I would say it's a coin toss, just like the other map. But if Frostno is having consistency issues, then this might just be a good pick. But then again, Philippines might just choose someone else who may practice rather than Frostno.
Could they put in someone like Lordy or Melancholy again, I guess? I honestly think Lordy might be a better option than Frostno and something like Turbo.
And maybe, you are right, they did put in Lordy.
There we go, they're putting in Lordy. So the lineups right now, Satio, Axesia, and Jaylai, the same lineup that we saw in Malaysia. And for the Philippines, we have Lordy, Kobo 3, and Laser Reed. Not surprised at all.
Yeah. So maybe this might just be a break point with it's a bit of a different skill set, so we'll just have to wait and see how these teams perform.
Oh, Jaylai, is this gonna be a substitution or will this be another connectivity issue? And right now, Laserid is in the Malaysian team.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if this is connectivity issue, but either way, I think we're gonna see like a lot of the same things we saw in the last pick. Like Kobo 3 is probably gonna have a V1 SS. This file is quite straightforward if you know how to like do it well, and I can see Kobo 3 getting a really good accuracy on this. Same for Laser Raid.
Cobb and Laser Reed have been the anchor for SVs in the Philippines. It's just the unfortunate third player. Like Malaysia and the reason why Malaysia won that pick is because of the third player. Malaysia was so balanced compared to the Philippines.
Yeah, and like if Philippines does miss and Malaysia full combos, that's this map is really short. There's almost nothing, so that might just be good for Malaysia.
That is true. Like again, we should always remember that SV maps work differently to like your typical map in the tournaments because in SVs, a single miss, a single 200 can be the deciding factor because that is like gonna contribute a lot of points considering how few notes there are usually in SV maps.
That being said, I think that this map is definitely less memo oriented. So, like, I would expect misses to come out less, if anything. Like, I wouldn't really call it out of the ballpark to call having 6 FCs on this.
That's true. I don't really know who wins this. Even though I didn't like this pick from Malaysia, they can definitely snatch a point from the Philippines.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how Lordy does.
Lordy's gonna start off not so well compared to the rest, but they're catching up.
I mean, yeah, we'll just have to wait until the actual fast gen kicks in, which will be going on right now. That this, and we'll just see if this favors Malaysia or the Philippines. And it looks like Lordy did drop a lot on that. So
Yes, but Taylor did drop. I saw
Wait,
barrage of 300s and a few 200s from J-Light.
oh, the difference is Accessia. Oh, Accessia is a little bit
Oh, the
behind.
miss!
And
That's instead of
actually
Accessia!
misses. So that's gonna be very, very good for the Philippines.
Look at Pub's accuracy, 99.88. Satio Light LL not too far behind with 99.82.
So it looks like
Wait.
that was a client. Wait, yeah.
Okay,
that was a client, but
okay, so
still,
it's really close right now.
oh, here we go. We're going into slow jam. This might just decide it.
Oh wow, Laser is getting a lot of
Oh
200s.
God, laser read. Oh no, that's so that was a client drop.
That is very unfortunate for the Philippines. So I was
Oh,
wrong
it was
there.
right at the very end. Laser read. Look at that accuracy.
Very unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. Both of the teams did well. 6-way FC.
Called it 6-way FC. Yeah, I wasn't expecting people like I guess Laser Reed dropping a lot of 200s on the slow jam section was a little bit unexpected. But,
That
like,
was unexpected. That was basically the killer for the Philippines.
yeah, as you just saw, like given the low note count, how much dropping 200 swung it in Malaysia's favor. That was an insane swing at the end. But now it's gonna be Philippines pick, and okay, they're going for Club Delta. I actually not sure about this because it's really straightforward price wise, which might just be fodder for Malaysia.
That is true. I mean, looking at their round of 32 scores, the Philippines has the disadvantage on Enter the Fire. Malaysia has 2974. while the Philippines has 2967. But this whole match has just been a coin toss, to be honest.
I mean, 2974 versus 2967, that is still a coin toss.
Honestly, like remember the SV picks? Those leads were coin tosses, even though they looked huge in paper. They weren't that big if you like saw the context of the match.
It just looked like Philippines choked on both the SV maps. But
That's alright though. No need to fret. No need to fret on losing on your opponent's pick. You just have to focus on getting what you have to pick, and you have to focus on your wins.
yeah. So I would say, okay, so this is straightforward. However, I would put this as even chances for both teams. It's got a lot of rice, which slightly favors Malaysia. There are enough LNs that Malaysia could drop enough 200s to give it to the Philippines. It kind of just get in the way. The difference is going to be between 0 200s versus 5 200. It's that sort of thing.
So this is actually a 3-minute map. Putting Frostno in, I think, is actually the right decision because Frostno was able to full combo that LN map, which I believe was Masquerade. So I think putting Frostno makes sense. Melancholy and Laser Reed have good accuracy, which could potentially match Oxasia and LCJ. J Lai just might be the charge that Malaysia will need in this pick. What do you think?
You know, like, I don't really know. Like, I'm a Rice player myself, and I did all right on this. But, you know, if you're an Ellen player, then you can easily get a V1 SS on this. And I think we might just see 3 V1 SSs from the Philippines. That
Well,
is, like, something that is plausible.
are we even? Oh wait, what happened to Frostno though?
I do not know.
Okay, everything's fine now, apparently.
Okay, yeah, it looks like there's a client issue.
Okay, wait, what does?
There's a miss from Break.
Okay,
Might
but
just be a client issue. Oh, okay. Wait.
okay, wait. Is Melancholy?
Melancholy.
Okay, okay, it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's not.
Yeah, this is close. It's gonna be really, really close. These LN releases, they are deceivingly difficult to lose. So, we're gonna see a very tight accuracy battle. It looks like Xesia is behind, but Break just dropped a ton.
That is true, but Melancholy is gonna drop again. That is very unfortunate.
And so as you can see, it's not just so the rice is like Ren 32 material, but it's the LN releases that really do take the cake.
That is true, but the accuracy advantage that the Philippines has is making the lead still very sizable.
Yeah, it looks like Melancholy did drop there, but Philippines does seem to have an accuracy advantage. Laser Reed is leading the lobby, and Frostno isn't that far behind.
Yeah, the accuracy advantage given by Frostno and Laser Reed is giving it to the Philippines. LCJ and Oxasia are at the 99.6 mark, but they will slowly catch up.
It looks like Philippines is slowly playing a game of catch up as they work to recover from that miss from Melancholy.
That is true. Very unfortunate because I feel like if the miss didn't happen, this would be the Philippines' lead, but very slightly.
I mean, it's still a 3-minute one map, so you know they have about a 5,000 point deficit.
Oh no,
They can over-
Frostno is also reaching the 99.6 range, so this will benefit Malaysia more.
Maybe Frostone just dropped to 200, but there are plenty of places for these teams to drop 200, so it's definitely not over yet. Only a little more than halfway into the map. That being said, it does look like Malaysia's lead is stabilizing.
It is stabilizing. Malaysia will need a miss right now if the Philippines would want to have a chance at catching.
As you can see, there's some more straightforward jump stream, which only benefits Malaysia. It's gonna be the LNs that come in this section.
That's true. I don't even think any 200 drop is gonna do it for the Philippines. Well, there is still a few. Is there 1 minute left? I think.
There's like 20 seconds. But
Well, I think this probably might be sealed already, unless something disastrous happens in the Malaysian team.
yeah, I think the hard parts are already over, so it does look like it's gonna be Malaysia's point.
So now that you know that you won this, what should you pick?
I would go for one of rice. Like, probably I am made, since that's probably the second most straightforward compared to Philippines band.
That is so unfortunate, because if Melancholy didn't miss, like what I mentioned, this would have been their point. That's only a 4,000 points difference.
Yeah, and as you can see, like it was another coin toss, but just
Oh, it's
happened
two
to be a great.
misses. So if it was only one miss, this would be the Philippines' point.
I don't think it would have been the Philippines' point with one miss. I think Melancholy would have had half an FC.
I see. Well, I guess that makes sense, but still.
That
Anyways,
is
if
insane accuracy from laser read. 995K, that's like nothing to sneeze at.
that's true. So this is a very bad situation for the Philippines right now, but it is not over yet.
Yeah, I mean, Philippines just lost a break point, but you know, it's a coin toss for it. So really hard to tell what will happen.
I think this is the most crucial point of the match.
Yeah, Malaysia needs to pick correct.
If
They
Mal
need to, you know,
if I don't think I would want to risk a map like Still Simic's team, but okay, they go with time goes by.
so I guess like this is kind of something that it's maybe on the easy side in terms of getting combo on, since it isn't really that dense. But you
Astolfo getting
can
in.
drop 200s on bursts.
That is true. Astolfo getting in. I like that. Astolfo is one of the vice players for the Philippines, but who should be their third player?
Maybe Kobo 3?
I would. I think it could be Cubbo 3. It's either Cubbo 3 or um maybe Lordy.
3? That's also fair. Okay, so Kobo 3 is going in. And I guess the Malaysian side, we do see Chucky 29 coming in, Accessible.
This is gonna be Astolfo's first appearance in the tournament. I mean, of course, barring qualifiers. I'm not sure about Choki though, but let's see how this one will go.
Yeah, and if things go right, this could be another really, really close one, just like the last one. And I don't know about you, but I'm really excited to see how this goes. This is kind of make or break for the Philippines. This is Malaysia's chance to seal in that extra break point, which would be extremely advantageous for them. It'd be 4 points up to Philippines 1.
I see, but we will have to wait. This is a pick that, of course, the Philippines can snatch.
Wait, I just realized this is the same team match that occurred in 40M3 Grand Finals. I am so stupid.
That is true, but at the same time, this is also the same matchup in quarterfinals from
Oh yeah,
40M3.
they did face in quarterfinals. That's so hilarious.
As that went 5-3 in Malaysia's favor. And right now, This is a potential,
Malaysia's up by 2 points.
yeah, this is a potential 5-3, but we'll see for now.
Yeah, so if Philippines doesn't miss, they have a good chance at snagging a breakpoint right back.
That is true. This will be again, like I said, Astolfo's first appearance in the tournament. Let's see how it goes.
And like, it's mostly going to be about ratio as well as making sure not to drop 200s on the denser burst. It's going to be interesting, and you do see Philippines come up with a very, very slight lead.
That is built up on Shockey's minor drops at the start, but that is only a short amount.
Oh yeah.
Oh, break
down,
drops!
Oh, that's gonna be so good for the Philippines.
That's huge for the Philippines.
Get back in the game.
That is true. LCJ might have the act, but the combo is much more important than that.
Yeah, this map is only 1,000 notes long, so Laser Reed has insane accuracy. Combo 3, Astolfo, they're both also doing really solid. So this is something that is squarely in Philippines' favor right now. So they do have the cards to victory.
16,000 points.
Maintain their consistency on this second section.
16,000 points. That is very big. If you're the Philippines, this is definitely a sizable lead. Malaysia would need a miracle at this point.
And they have this hard burst section coming up just now, so we'll see if anyone drops 200s, but I'll nail it.
Combo 3 slightly dropping, but I think this is still a 990k for that. Triple 990 from the Philippines. Wow!
That is an insane team score from the Philippines.
And honestly, this would still be the Philippines' point, even if LCJ FC'd. But it would be like 1,000-point lead.
Yeah, Philippines really did out-act Malaysia on Malaysia's pick. So this, yeah.
That was an amazing answer. That was a very, very good answer by the Philippines.
Philippines might have just been 3 points down, but they're back in the game now.
They are back in the game. I forgot to mention Astolfo and Lazarid getting their double S's. I think Cub had like 1x200, so that almost became like a triple team FC, which is insane.
Yeah. I think time goes by was, even though that was a solid win for the Philippines, I still think it was really risky. So, I might just stay away from something like Lexus Cyanixis and go for something like Tokyo Ghetto, which seems to be a lot more solid for the Philippines.
I agree, Tokyo Ghetto is the way that they should go with. Del Rio, I don't like that pick as well because Del Rio will probably go to Malaysia's favor. I think Del Rio is one of the easier maps that's remaining.
I actually think that Del Rio is probably one of the harder maps that remain.
Well, I mean like physically. In terms of the physical side, I think Del Rio might just be one of the easier maps.
You're a player whose right skill equals its LN skill, so yeah.
I guess that's true. I guess that's true. But like, still though, what do you think of Silsimic's team?
Silsimic's team? I think it's gonna be similar to time goes by, so I'm really unsure.
And we're waiting. I believe this is gonna be Tokyo Ghetto because Melancholy is in.
Yeah, Melancholy's in, but this probably is gonna be Tokyo Ghetto or Del Rio.
Imagine if the For the Rivers Del Rio was in this pool.
Okay, so they are going for Tokyo Ghetto.
There we go, that's the right pick. Both teams' picks have been very risky. But whose risky picks have been paying off more? Malaysia or Philippines? I get that Malaysia has the lead right now, but I think the momentum just swing back to the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, so Malaysia took both SV points and they took crossing delta because like crossing delta was basically a coin toss. Philippines is taking leads of pretty solid margins on the LN time goes by. So I would really say that this is something that the Philippines probably has an advantage on.
The story so far, except for the second SV pick, has been PH has a slightly better act, but Malaysia's consistency has been keeping up. And if one of them hasn't followed the script, it's gonna be the opponent team's point.
Yeah, so even though this is one of the longer maps, Philippines does stand a chance at losing if one of their players misses.
It is dependent on which team can get the triple FC.
And I expect to see some very good scores from the Philippines, but
Ooh, J-Lai will drop a 200 at the start. I didn't notice what
I
Melancholy did as
think
well.
they'll wait until a few 100,000 points and to really see how these players fare on this sort of release. It actually looks like Malaysia's taking the lead, which is actually kind of surprising.
Well, not anymore. I mean, it is a lead, but it is very small. Could you even call this a lead?
I mean, like the map has somewhat more notes than some of the other picks in the level. So, but
That is true.
yeah, just as I said, like, wow, there's like no lead at all, and it looks like it might just be going over to the Philippines, which is like insane.
Laser Reed is tying with J-Lai. Frosto tying with LCJ. Melancholy tying with Oxesia. My goodness, this match.
We are witnessing another flickering score. As you
And
can see, that
it swung back
is
to the
a
Philippines.
700-point difference.
700 points. That is nothing. That's like a 200.
I do think LCJQ is dropping a few 200s, so Philippines is going to take a slight.
But Frosto is gonna drop. Not good at all.
I don't think that's. I think Philippines can still take the lead though, because
That is true.
there are a ton of notes, so a miss won't really count for as much as something like Kurga.
It is still the first half. This is the most crucial part of the match. Malaysia with a very, very slight lead. It is really slight.
If Malaysia wins this, they could potentially just take this match 5-2. But if Philippines win this, then it might just go to tiebreaker. So this is a really crucial part of this match.
Players to look out at right now, Oxesia and LCJ are slowly dropping their axe. Melancholy and Laserite at 99.7. This might just swing back to the Philippines if they continue dropping their axe.
Looks like it is going to be swinging over to the Philippines. That gap it's growing smaller and it's going to be flickering.
It's going smaller.
Laserite maintains his accuracy. Melancholy maintaining that accuracy.
That is true. LCJ is dropping a little bit more 200s.
Oxesia and J-Lar are doing solid, but LCJQ might just not be able to stay up.
That is true.
Looks
more
like
200.
Crosses miss. Wow.
Wow, more 200s from LCJ. J-Lar and Oxesia not at the 99.7 range. Who is gonna take this?
200. Melancholy.
It's gonna go to the Philippines.
Wait. I don't think there's any more hard parts, but this. Yeah. Oh my god.
500 points for the Philippines.
That was a
Oh my god.
1,500-point difference. Insane.
That. I have no words for this pick.
That was freaking insane. And if you're wondering why I'm just whispering, it's because it's like 1 a.m. and I don't want to bother my roommate.
That is an impressive win because A while ago it was 3-1. Now it's a best of 3 series.
Yeah, so it looks like there was there were a couple of break points traded, but it looks like Malaysia and Philippines are even right now. So what's Malaysia gonna go for?
I don't know if Del Rio is safe. I
If
don't think
anything, Philippines will try to pick the Del Rio if they lose this next pick.
the worst pick Malaysia can go for right now is still mixed team, I think. What
So
about you, Chu? What do you think should Malaysia avoid?
I think Malaysia could probably stand to avoid Del Rio. This
Interesting
leads to something
decision.
that might just be Philippines playing. Maybe I might just go for something straightforward, like maybe that is something that I can see Malaysia picking.
That is true, but why did you say why should Malaysia like not pick something like Lexus Cyanix?
I mean, so that's kind of techy, like time goes by, so maybe Philippines might want to go in for that, but even then, that was risky for the Philippines. So all these remaining picks, they're all coin tosses.
My god, I'm so sorry for all the hype right now. I just can't believe how close this match is.
Yeah, this match is insane close. So they are going with I am made.
I am made. Map ads. This map was created by my fellow commentator too.
Hi, this map was created by yours truly.
Oh my goodness. I don't know who's winning this. I don't know who's winning this.
Yeah, so this is probably more straightforward. So we could see Malaysia do well in this.
That's true. Can I just say, no matter the result of this match, both teams should be proud of themselves. Both teams have been doing amazing. Malaysia, Philippines, no matter what, they've been living up to the hype of this match. And I'm just really proud to say that these two teams are doing amazing.
Yeah, this has been an incredible performance from both teams. And if not incredible, it's been really, really close and fascinating to see.
Oh, we're seeing Lordy! Interesting choice for the Philippines. I like that. Both teams have been taking their risks, and I think they're all paying off. Let's say Malaysia wins this pick. I think the Philippines could take a timeout because that will be the last pick of the match.
Yeah, Philippines will probably have to go for something risky because I think Silk Extreme is probably going to be in Malaysia's favor.
The morale booster has favored the Philippines right now, though. Like, if you look at the situation, Philippines got 2 points back from Malaysia's run. So this is definitely a morale booster for the Philippines. But let's see if they can keep it up in I am made.
Yes. Let's see exactly what happens, and let's see if Malaysia can take their own point. And so far, it looks like Borgi did drop a little bit at the beginning, so that does look like it might just be Borgi's point for Malaysia's point for a little bit. And it does look like Malaysia does have a bit of a neck advantage. As you can see, everybody in Malaysia is in the 80s. Well, Philippines is closer to the 60s.
That is true. Astolfo and Lordi both 99.6. Laserid at the only 99.8 in the Philippines. Meanwhile, Malaysia has two of them.
So Malaysia is definitely having features.
Oh, LCJ also dropped into the
Huge drop.
99.6 range. That is huge for the Philippines. They will need that.
Astolfo's going back. RJ holding strong. That means that this is going to be another very close match.
Though it has gone back to Malaysia. The Philippines cannot hold that 99.8 or 99.7s rather. But this is still a sizable lead.
Yeah, it does look like Lordy did drop a little bit there, so that's gonna tilt the advantage slightly in Malaysia's favor, and it's still right razor thin going into the end.
That is true, but can I just say, seeing a 6-way FC right now, that is really impressive.
I don't think a 6-way FC on the consistency map is as impressive as a 6-way FC on
Oh,
the
what? No way!
Drop.
But LCJ drops!
Oh my god.
Could this be the turning factor? Could this be the point that the Philippines will need?
11th hour. Break LCJQ dropping near the very end. That means
Philippines.
that Philippines taking a break point.
And they take the break point!
That is really,
That's
really
huge!
good for the Philippines. That is huge.
That is huge! A 4,000 point lead, so that miss decided it.
That is so heartbreaking for Malaysia.
A while ago, it was 3-1 in Malaysia's favor. Now, it is 4-3 in the Philippines' favor, and it's their own pick.
Yeah, so I think something like Del Rio or Alexis Ionixis would be really good for the Philippines. I mean, they're both kind of risky, but I would say Lexus is just, I'd say like something like Silknik's theme is like just a little too, it's a little too wild card. Like, it's a little too on the easy side. So, you know, if Del Rio comes out, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my, this match so far has been unpredictable. Would you agree?
Yeah, this has just been back and forth the whole way through. Malaysia going up 3-1, and now it's 3-4. Match point. Malaysia might just be able to take it back. Might go to another tiebreaker.
That's true, but this is one of those rare moments where a team comes back from a huge lead and takes it back. I find that to be a very impressive thing that the Philippines has done. Like, you could see Hong Kong, Philippines came back from 3-2, and now they came back from 3-1.
Yeah, Malaysia taking a break point at the start, crossing Delta, but Philippines taking 2 consecutive break points on time goes by and I am made. They are simply the more consistent team.
That's true. Well, right now, we forgot to mention that this means that the Philippines secured tiebreaker already.
So if they lose this, they will be playing necessary discrepancy. However, if they pick wisely, they might just be able to avoid that and win 5-3.
I just want to say to the chat, if you want to see a tiebreaker, go cheer for Malaysia. But if you want to see the Philippines take it, go cheer from them right now. The chat, your teams need your support. Who do you guys want to see? What do you guys want to see rather? A tiebreaker or the Philippines winning? Let's go!
There's 3 very, very risky picks, and okay, look, I could see Silknik's theme because, so let's say if Philippines takes Del Rio and they lose it, and Del Rio's like closer to the tiebreaker, they are going for Del Rio. This
is going to be an interesting one.
Going to be really, really interesting. I don't know who has the advantage on this.
Am I the only one who was thinking, why didn't they go for Sil Simic's team? I think they would have had the advantage there.
Like I think Malaysia might just be too combo-y for Malaysia. Like we did see like how good Malaysia's accuracy was for IMA, so it could have seemed a little too risky. But something like Del Rio is like something that even if Philippines does miss on, there are a ton of notes, so Philippines could just make it back up.
Look at the chat right now. The chat is really, really hyped for this.
Yeah, and this is something that has so many choke points and it offers so many ways for both teams to go. So we'll just have to see how this goes.
My god, this is such an important. This is just an important point for both teams. I don't know what to expect.
Man, I don't know either. This is.
Actually, I'd like to know before this starts, what did you put in your pick'em for this match?
I am not. I'm not. I don't have any pick'ems for the game.
Oh, I see, but like, who did you have winning in mind?
I don't know. I was undecided. They're just really even.
I mean, for me, I think you already know who I had because of the bias.
Because your race, yes, you were
Yes,
Filipino.
yes, exactly. I had Malaysia winning.
Oh, okay. Anyways, here we go into Del Rio, which has been reused in many tournaments, except it's not the top difficulty. So
That is true, but in all seriousness, uh, I did have PH winning this in the pick'ems because I felt like this could be a winnable match, and I guess it is a winnable match. But that's the case for both teams.
yes, so I would say the Ellens are like just on the border of doable for Malaysia. So Malaysia might just get away with not dropping enough 200s for both Philippines. And as you can see, that lead is really, really close.
That is true. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't put Frost Snow instead of like Melancholy or Cub.
Yeah, these teams are tied.
And it is going slightly to the Philippines' favor. I think it was an act drop from Astasia that did it. Oh, but LCJ misses.
That is good for the Philippines. That's just what the Philippines needs.
My
Looks
goodness.
like the Philippines is just simply more consistent on the net.
That is true. But this is not over yet for Malaysia. It is such a sizable lead. So that miss from LCJ is not gonna matter too much in the long run.
Yeah, LCJQ does go back to 400, which means that no more points are going to be lost. This is a 10,000 point lead for the Philippines,
but Laser is gonna miss. That's what I was talking about.
There's just so many points to choke, and oh my god.
So if you think about it, wouldn't this still slightly go to the Philippines because LCJ dropped to 99.5 while Laser had 99.69.
Yeah, but it's gonna be really close either way, and going into solo, that's also going to be really close. So Malaysia might just be able to take this back. It's gonna be really close.
That is true, but we will have to see first when they hit the 400 combo mark.
Yeah, it looks like the Philippines will be taking us a very slight lead out of that trade of misses. It's just a couple of thousand, but we'll just have to wait until the solo.
My goodness, this is so close. LCJ slowly gaining, but the Laser
really close.
Here we go now. This is the most important
It's going
part.
to have some very chokeable patterns, and I wouldn't be surprised if LCJQ or Laser Reed just go up here.
Oh, but
Oh my
I-
god,
I-
that's double miss from the Philippines.
that is a double miss for the Philippines. That should give it to Malaysia. Very unfortunate.
We are going to be seeing, we might just be seeing a tiebreaker if Malaysia can hold. That was really, really good for Malaysia, who held very strong on that solo.
Indeed, they had a triple full combo. Oh, what is going on to the client?
Client looks like,
Well, that is not the
yeah,
lead
looks
right
like
now.
there's a client
Oh, but
stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Very unfortunate, but we will be seeing a tiebreaker.
Second match, and both matches have gone to tiebreaker.
So if,
That's
as you
insane.
can see right now, the Philippines had the ACK advantage. Malaysia, combo advantage. Philippines, ACK advantage. What is more important in a tiebreaker like this?
You know, it's like impossible to tell. Like, this is just gonna be such a coin toss. It's just been back and forth for the whole way through. It's been insane.
Who should they have? Laser Reed and Melancholy makes sense, but who should be the third player of the Philippines?
Laser Reed and Melancholy, they're both really solid, but yeah, it's really hard to say. Like, ideally, you might just put an all-rounder, so whoever was in for the last map, maybe Kobo 3, or maybe a Stolfo, or maybe Frosto. It's just really hard to tell at this point.
I just want to say, remember last MWC PH went to 2 tiebreakers? Look at Philippines right now, 2 tiebreakers, round of 32 and round of 16.
Oh my god, it's scripted.
Not only that, but I forgot to
Frosto's
mention
gonna
that Hong Kong also had 2 tiebreakers in for DM4.
Oh yeah. Been insane right now.
But can the Philippines stay in the winner's bracket? Or will Malaysia keep this momentum that they've built for themselves? I just want to point out, if Philippines wins this, this would be a seed upset.
I wouldn't really call it a seed upset. I'd say these teams are pretty much even in just about almost every aspect.
That is true, but in the realms of like technicality, this is technically still a seed upset. So the Philippines will have Frost. No, that makes sense. I wouldn't have Cub 03 in this because there is the column lockable LN section.
That is true. There are some quite advanced summons here, so we'll have to watch out for those.
I like the fact that they rested Frost Snow because fatigue is gonna kick in. But Laserite has essentially played all the maps, so I don't really know what to say about that.
Yeah, I think Blaze Reed might just be saving the best for last.
Can I? I just want to say, man, whoever wins this, I don't know what to say. This match has been insane in so many levels.
Yeah, we just seen this swing back and forth, breakpoint after breakpoint. Incredible how much these teams have just drawn blood against each other. Insane. And what better way to end it than with a tiebreaker?
Oh my god. Wait, so wait, are they putting in Cub or Frosno?
I don't know yet. It looks like Cub is going to be. Cub is here right now, so I assume they might just be sticking with Cub. Frost is back. I think there's really, it's a tough decision to make. This might just determine the trajectory of the brackets.
I'm gonna. I don't know, but here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for, and Oxers is still playing Del Rio.
Oh my god. This. Yeah, I can't believe my eyes.
I think we need a panic button for this.
I came in to say that this is a necessary discussion.
Hi, Polly.
Hello, Polly.
How are you doing?
That is true. It is a necessary discrepancy. I guess that's what she said.
That's
Okay,
what
but
she said. Oh my god.
Chu, that's a different one, okay?
Okay.
Anyways, here we go. Let's see if everyone's gonna get the sync. There we go.
Yeah, and this, I have no reason to see why this isn't going to be a bloodbath. Especially when you've seen just how far these teams have taken each other.
That is true. The song is so fitting for a situation like this. Look at Melancholy Zach, 99.88. But Cup? Oh, that's not a miss. That's not a miss.
Oh,
It's a
look,
client.
Client drop. It does seem to be an act drop a little bit, but
I mean, it's better to have an act drop than a combo drop. Oh, it's. Oh, wait, did the lead just switch?
no, I think that was just a client. Like,
No, the lead did switch because Oxesia and LCJ dropped some act.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Laser Reed and Melancholy, that's gonna be an actual miss from J-Line.
It's not that huge yet. It's still the start of the match.
And that's not a miss at all. It's bad.
Oh my god. Client! Can I just say, client, do your job!
You have a 6-way FC right now. Bancho isn't respecting that. He wants
Oh
players.
my god. Still a 6-way FC. Wow!
And we're going to be going into some jump shot right now. And nobody's breaking right now. In fact, everybody's just holding up really solid. This lead from the Philippines, it's close to nothing.
It's going close, but Oxesia's gonna
There's
drop.
miss from Oxesia. That's
Is
going to
this
be
client
the
this
first
time?
miss of the tournament.
Not the
First-
tournament, the tiebreaker.
First to the tiebreaker, not the tournament. Idiot.
That's alright, that's alright. Very impressive how both of these teams are holding their combo in the LNs. Cobb does find the 200 in here, but again, keeping the combo is much more important.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to give Philippines the lead coming into the second half. But the second half is where all the spicy stuff is.
This is honestly so much bigger than it looks. Because it's a very long map, but LCJ's gonna drop!
There's a miss from LCJQ. That is going to give Philippines an even bigger lead.
But it is not impossible. Again, 2 misses is nothing.
Yeah, there's like so many ways. Hey, things could switch up in the second half.
Oh, like what I said, there we go. Laser Reed will find a drop of their own.
Yeah, so that's the one thing traded. So the score gap will be more minuscule now. But that wasn't a drop from LCJ2 at all.
Wow,
So
so it's
there's
just 1
pure
miss to
trade.
1 miss.
To trade. But Oxesi's accuracy is getting lower.
The ACK advantage is gonna go to the Philippines. That's for sure. Alright, here's gonna be the difficult part, I think.
So we are going to be going to the difficult part now. We are going to be seeing some hybrids coming in.
Here we go, here's the hybrids. I don't know who has this.
It's impossible to tell. is it going in Malaysia's favor? It might just be. It's really hard to say right now.
J-Lai really tried to be the anchor, but LGA is gonna drop. That's huge.
Oh no. But I expect LG to have an advantage.
Oh, laser, it's gonna drop. That is not good for the Philippines. That's an even bigger one, actually.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's nothing right now. Okay, here's the big part.
Got some spicy lens. Their classic one crystal section, and this is putting it in Malaysia's favor. Malaysia, for the first time, is taking a very solid lead.
Yeah, but it's very small, so we can't even tell. The rice part is gonna come. I don't know who has the advantage there.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a big coin toss.
Oh, Cub's gonna miss! That's huge!
And if the rice section, still, that's almost nothing because any of these players could.
But
drop
LCJ's
into
gonna drop!
this
That's a
element.
trade!
Oh my god. Look,
It's gonna go
you're
to the...
virtually tied coming into this tough rice section, and it's just impossible to tell who will take this.
Oh my goodness, there's still a big part of the match. Accessia is dropping Ack. I don't know if that's enough.
We're gonna be getting into the hardest part of this rice section. I think LJQ might just gobble through this. Well, Philippines might miss, but
Oh wow. No one's dropping Ack. But Cub is dropping Ack. Here we go, here's the hard part.
Cub is dropping.
Wow,
LJQ.
both teams just comboed it. So the
Oh my
win
God.
is gonna go to the Philippines. Oh no, it's not gonna go to the Philippines.
LJQ at the very end. I don't think that's gonna be much. I think that's
Oh,
gonna
this
be an advantage for Malaysia.
I think this will go safely to Malaysia unless we see a meltdown from anyone.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of this map to go. This gap does seem to be shrinking a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. It's gonna be really close either way. Oh my god. And LGT
Wow,
is
it's
dropping
going
at
so
the
small.
100s. It's getting really close. Players must be really nervous right now. Philippines might just take it back. It's really close.
That is if Malaysia will miss, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, wow!
That makes the point really, really close.
Congratulations to Malaysia. Well fought to the Philippine team. Very
That's a
unfortunate.
100-point difference. Insanely close.
I just want to say very impressive FC from Melancholy and J-Lai. That is very unfortunate. The Philippines had an amazing run, but it is just not enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of speechless. This
I'm
is just
kind of
something
sad.
done
I'm kind
either
of
way.
sad that this was a PH loss, but what an amazing effort by both teams.
Yeah, both teams did so well, and I'm just so proud of everyone on both teams who just it's just such a great match, and I'm so glad to have been able to commentate this.
I am really glad this as well. Oh, apparently that was a lag in laser reads, and so that's what decided it.
Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Unfortunate, but every team has to deal with unlucky things. It's alright. It's alright. Both teams should be proud.
The Philippines will be going down to losers bracket, but they'll be facing, I don't know yet, but you're going to be seeing Thailand versus Japan in about an hour, so do be on the lookout for that. And that's going to be
I am
really
very
exciting as well.
interested to see that. So yeah, good luck. Good luck to both teams.
And it looks like so Malaysia will be facing the winner of France and Australia. That's going to be interesting to watch since Australia is really good at elements. On the other hand, we're going to see Philippines go down into the losers bracket where they will be facing the losers of France and Australia. So that's also going to be really interesting since France is really good all around in this. So does the Philippines. And Australia, they have really good elements. So if they lose, that's also going to be really interesting. battle. So, wow, I just don't know what to say. These matches have just like exceeded all of my expectations.
That exceeded my expectations as well. But yeah, I guess that's the match. Thank you so much, Shu, for commentating, Polly for reffing, and Mortal Spawn for streaming.
Yeah, it was great having you guys all here. And thanks for commentating with me, Emily. It was a just a big pleasure going through this whirlwind of a match.
That is amazing. Well, yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. And that is it. Thank you for stopping by, and that's all.
Yeah, we'll see you guys around in about an hour or so. Stay tuned, and we'll be signing off for now. Take care of yourselves. Be well.